All right, I'd like to welcome in former Air Force Special Ops pilot, military analyst, Major Glenn Ignazio. It's great to see you. As always, thank you for your time. So we just heard from the press secretary there. We have heard, President Trump continue to deny that he is considering an imminent military attack inside of Venezuela. But from your perspective, why has the USS Ford, which happens to be the world's largest aircraft carrier, not just in the US, the world's largest aircraft carrier, why has that been moved to the region?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's cover it. It's not just the carrier that's there; it's also those missile strike destroyers and so forth. Excuse me, submarines. So just so everybody understands, it's more than just that carrier. That's a lot of force down there. So I think that there's a variety of different facets to it. So one, putting that much power down there, military power, would cause deterrence or intimidation to, hey, do what we say we're going to do. That's one thing. Striking these ships or these boats, excuse me, is one thing, but they're small bottom line type of drug carriers. One of the other aspects is to cause maybe disruption within Venezuela to have the people overthrow Maduro. And the last thing, which is possible, is looking at where all these cartel leaders, labs, and everything are, and doing a pre planned strike package and taking all those targets out with one particular strike is also plausible. Now, what will happen, we'll see. But these are things that I'm sure on the table and part of the war planning that they would do.
All right, so Major, what are the potential impacts if the Trump administration does, in fact, decide to pursue land strikes within Venezuela?
Well, now you're talking about striking a sovereign country. So it does put you into the same realm as, hey, what happened in Iran? Now the world was behind that. Here, the world is not behind this. So you are striking a particular sovereign country. Those strikes may be one thing, and I don't think we should put boots on the ground with Marines or anybody else, even though they're a formidable force. That's definitely a dangerous thing. So you are starting to trip things that would happen within the United Nations, attacking a sovereign country. Those are much more legalities around the globe than, say, just in the United States, where the authority used military force may be justified. So that's really the criticality to this. But again, boots on the ground would be most dangerous, but those strikes would be similar to what we've seen around the world in places like Iran, Yemen, and others.
All right, so we're talking about possible land strikes there. Let's talk about something that absolutely has happened, these strikes in the water. And now this major revelation that the UK is suspending some intelligence sharing with us, with the US, because they consider those multiple boat strikes in the Caribbean illegal attacks. We know dozens of people have been killed in these, more than 70 people. The administration, though, maintains these absolutely are legal. I would like to listen to what a War Department spokeswoman told me about this late last week when I asked her specifically about the legality of the strikes.
In terms of the legality piece, I can tell you with 100% certainty that every single one of these strikes is within the confines of the law of armed conflict and international law. That is something we take very seriously here at the department, and we have a fantastic team of civilian and military lawyers that are making sure all of these strikes are up to par.
All right, Major. So, you can see that little bug that was in the top of the screen there. That was just on Thursday. We found out about this latest move yesterday. How significant is it that the UK is now opting to stop sharing intelligence with the US? I mean, they're one of our top allies because they say that those strikes are illegal.
Yeah, I completely understand. And hopefully this is just for this region and not the UK, for all around the world, because they are such a tight ally. So let's take a look at this region, because again, it's such a delicate subject globally, where this is where the US is looking at US legalities. But globally, I could see why the UK would want to distance themselves to say that there is no connection as far as intelligence or any kind of assistance where the UK is helping the United States in this operation. At the same time, there is a tremendous amount of assets down there from intelligence, with human intelligence plus the satellites and the aircraft to be able to survey and see what's going on. So I can understand the distancing. In addition to what her comment was, from the Secretary of War, or excuse me, from the War Department, is that, again, back to that use of military force. 4 presidents total have used this in different parts of the world. It doesn't mean it's ethically correct, even though they may have a legal standard. I think showing this is definitely having a emotional reaction where they don't need to show all these strikes. We can also, and this is where the sensitivity comes from, is those intelligence resources are what are classified. Seeing a small boat full of drugs may not be classified. So they can dumb down a lot of that information and actually show what is the justification and why they feel that these are drugs heading to the United States and so forth. So there's a lot of things that could be done, but again, doesn't mean it's ethically.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.